Part 1 of my workflow, preparation. For all editing, I generally start by removing chromatic aberration. Go to the Lens Correction panel. Under the Profile tab, select Remove Chromatic Aberration. Lightroom will automatically remove simple chromatic aberration. However, if you're still experiencing chromatic aberration, you can either do it manually or use a dropper tool. Then check Profile Correction for barrel distortion. Be aware, Profile Lens Correction can prolongate distortion. I don't use it much, but I do check it for every photograph. To fix perspective distortion, go to your Transform panel. Use the vertical or horizontal slider to fix distortion and click on Constraint Crop at the bottom. The crop will be limited to the edges of your photograph and won't include any of the white edges. Don't select Constraint Crop if you don't want to lose any part of your photograph. Now it's time for cropping. It is more efficient to crop your photograph before starting any cleaning to avoid working on unnecessary area. Take some time to play around with your cropping, as it is crucial to the composition, message, and emotion you want to convey. Tap the R key to select the crop tool. The X key toggles the orientation of the crop from horizontal to vertical, and tap O to circle through the different crop overlay options. Now it's time to remove all backscatter and distraction in our photograph. To remove backscatter and simple distraction, tap Q to activate the Spot Removal tool and just paint over them. I'll fast forward this process as it can be long and boring to watch. And last, fix the exposure if your photograph is over or underexposed. Happy with the exposure, so I won't be changing anything in this one. Preparation is done. I suggest creating a snapshot now. Shortcut for Windows is Ctrl-N and call it Preparation. Now you can freely experiment, and if needed, you can start all over again in just one click. Now comes the exciting part, choosing presets. To keep this video short, I will skip going through all of them. I've chosen 2 presets to work with, the NP4 and NR2. Once I find a preset that I like, I make sure to save it as a snapshot. Shortcut, Ctrl-N for Windows, and rename it to your preset's name, just to stay organized. Now I'm ready to do some adjustment. I love already the colors. I think the subject is slightly too bright, so I'm going to modify this. With Lightroom new features, it is now easy to make local adjustment and target only the skin of my model. I will slightly reduce the exposure and add some warmer tone to the skin. I'm gonna do a second selection, this time of the hair, to bring the shadow down. Now I go to my preset panel and go to background group and choose clarity to add a little punch to my background. My adjustment is complete. I will save it as a new snapshot and rename it NR2A, which makes it easier to compare the before and after. Now I'm ready to move on to my next one, MP4. Again, I will reduce the brightness of the skin to bring back some details. I will add a little vignette to add some drama to my photograph. The Underwater Artistry modifiers make it easier to transform any photograph. If I want to change the color of my background, I just need to go into my background group, choose the color I want, and then adjust it to my liking. The last thing I want to do is add a little bit of clarity to my background as well as darken it a little bit. Now I can save it as a snapshot and I can compare the before and after. And if I want to, I can continue to play with the modifiers and continue to create different edits. I have been an underwater photo editor for the last 15 years, and I can't stress enough on the benefits of having an editing workflow. You can follow my workflow or create your own. However, having a workflow is the key to save time, stay organized, reduce mistakes, and producing consistent results.